It's moist, it's not dried out, it's soft, it's citrusy, it's got the sugar in there, you got that mixed spice, you got that butter, a little bit of glaze over the top. So there we are, Chelsea buns made, the absolute forerunner to the cinnamon bun. Look at that. Hi everyone, welcome to Backyard Chef. I'm Rick. Today, Chelsea buns. The pre-runner to the cinnamon bun, which we all know and famous. The Chelsea bun was the first bun of its type way back in the 1700s, and then it went out across the world and was changed. The cinnamon bun was changed in Sweden and then went to America, and it is the cinnamon bun that we know today. However, again, another recipe that started right in the UK, in London, in the 1700s. So we are going to make the Chelsea bun, the old-fashioned Chelsea bun. Okay, in here I have some milk, in there with some sugar, and we're going to activate our yeast. It is nice and straightforward, this recipe. In there with our instant yeast, and as per always, I am giving it a stir, just to give it a kick up the old and try and activate it. We let that sit, it sits for 5 minutes, it starts to bloom up. As soon as it blooms, we know it's okay, we can carry on with the next stage. And I am using the stand mixer today, just an awful lot easier than rolling, kneading. Just put it on here, on low and slow, 8 minutes, perfect. So there we go, we've only had a couple of minutes, it's already bloomed. So we can get on with the next stage. So let's just put that there. In here, I've got my flowers. I'm going in there with some salt. Always need a pinch of salt in there, about a teaspoon. And we're just going to give that a little stir in. We're going to go in there with our butter. Now, I've got an egg here. I'm going to give it a little beating. I'm going to chuck that in. And we are going to chuck all our milk and yeast mixture in there. Nice and straightforward. We're using the stand mixer, like I say, just a lot easier than rolling it and kneading it. Connect your dough hook. Lift up your bowl. And this is where it's so easy. You do not have to put this on high speed. I see many people put it on slow and then they whiz it up. It only needs to go on to level 2 only. So let's put it on. That's level 1. Just bring that in there a little minute. And then put it onto level 2 and leave it for about 6 to 8 minutes. It's the kneading of the machine that makes it all light and fluffy. So that's on for about 6 to 8 minutes. Just leave it. Okay, I think that's about got it. It's been going about 6 minutes, so I think that's enough. Let's get that off there. So we have this hugely sticky dough, but it's not sticky, but sticky, you know what I mean. Now, to try and get that thing out of there, I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on my hand. And it doesn't matter if some goes in the bowl. We're not bothered about that. So we just need to loosen that up on there. And then we're going to oil out the bowl. So you can see it's alright. Okay, so that's our dough. Nice and gently push it over with your fingers. Trap it in there. Take a little bit of oil whiz it round the bowl, up and down. So as you can see, look, it is sticky. That's the sort of texture you're wanting. Okay, it's sticky, but it's not sticking to anything. So, and we're just going to put a plastic bag on it. Put it in a plastic bag. I'm going to leave it for about an hour. My baking bag. There we go. We leave it for about an hour. 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, depends where you are, until it doubles in size, and then we can carry on. Okay, it's been about an hour. Oh, look at that thing. Oh, that is enormous. Okay, we want a little bit of flour on here. Not much. This is my sugar, and this is English mixed spice. There's a recipe in the description how to make it if you want to use mixed spice. It's very similar to pumpkin spice. I've also got some fruit which I've actually been soaking in rum and hot water. Okay, let's get this on there. Oh, and before we get there, we're using a 10-inch by 10-inch tray, and I've lined it with a little bit of parchment and I've rubbed it with a little bit of butter. Okay, let's crack on. Let's get that on there, like that. And we're just going to push it down like that. We're not bother rolling it out. We're just trying to get it as squared as we can, as even as we can. You know, it don't have to be rolled out to 1 centimetre by 20 centimetres and all that messing around. Does it matter if the bread rolls are not quite even in your tray? Not really. It's still going to be delicious. So that's up to you. If you want to roll it, measure it, please do so. Okay, so we've got that there. We want a little bit of butter on here, and we're going to spread the butter out all over. Now, people do it all sorts of different ways. You can mix up your butter and your spices and then put it on. I'd rather put the butter on first and then put the spices on, you know. And then we want to take our sugar mix with our spices and just on there. Now, I'm not very neat and tidy with this, you know. It just has to go on. So it doesn't really matter how you get it on. So let's just give that a little moving about on there. Okay, and I have some lemon zest and some orange zest. Now, it doesn't matter how you get it on. And just divide it up best you can, just sprinkle it on there. I just want a bit of flavour through, you know. And then we're going on there with our mixed fruit. Now, I've got white raisins and dark raisins. That's all I'm using. You can go for anything you want. If you want to use mixed peel or anything like that, or mixed fruit, put whatever fruit in you like, you know. And then all we're going to do is roll it up. Now, you can really go to town and try and roll it as tight as possible. I'm not really all that worried about that. We just need to encase everything. So get it over like that. Now, like I say, some people try and roll it really tight. Just roll it. There's always some bits of fruit that decide they want to jump out. Chuck them back in. And when you get to that end, you know, you can rub a bit of water on if you so wish. Just put a little bit of water on there, and that's going to help it stick. So that's our roll, look. Just tuck that up like that. It's not crucial. Okay, and we want to divide this into 12. Nice little bit of 12 there, so look for about halfway. That'll do. I think that's near enough. So we want to divide this into 6. So if we come down the middle and then divide that into 3, and do the same on this side. So that's the first 6, and we're going to bob that in our tray. Now, if you have a big enough tray where you can leave some space around, leave it. I don't have. I'm not worried. They're going in there anyway. And we're going to do the same with this one. We've got an untidy end there, look. Are we worried? Nope. And there we have our prepped rolls. I could just move them up a little bit actually. Now don't worry about moving them around. You're not going to damage anything. You know, they're going to rise up whatever happens, you know. And these are the tear and share, so it doesn't matter, you know, you're going to rip them apart. There you go, there's our rolls, and we need to cover those for another half an hour. That's so easy. Half an hour, and then we'll be bobbing the oven on and chucking them in there. Nice and steady. Time to wash up. Okay, before we have a look in there, because they've been about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I know they'll be okay. They were coming up all right. We're going to put the oven on. I'm going for 160. 160, let it do its thing. Now, I have a tray here and I have a trivet. That is because the 10-inch by 10-inch tin that I'm using does not fit. Oh, look at those. Oh, they're going to be special. This does not fit on the tray. You know, it either fits inside, so it's going to bake uneven. So to make it level, if I put that on there, that sits perfectly on there. Okay, that's had a minute, that'll do. We're going to get that in there. And we are going to do a time of 20 minutes. 20 minutes should get it. There we go, that's end hot. So let's turn that off. And let's have that out of there. Look at those beauties. They look absolutely fabulous. And what you have to do when they come out of the oven is a little bit of apricot jam. It's apricot jam and water. Now you can heat it up on the stove if you so wish. I haven't. I've just got the jam and I have put some water in, boiling water, watered it down a little bit. That just elevates them. I mean, come on, look how fantastic they look now. They look something really special. Wow. Okay, in here, that is icing sugar, and we're going to go in with the tiniest drop of water. And just give that a good mixing into a runny paste, but quite thick. Okay, and this is why I put lined paper in there. We can just take our buns out like that. They look absolutely fabulous. This is our icing mix, and we're going to do no more than this. So what we're doing, basically, tap it so most of it comes off, and then you can just across the top. And that's an easier way of doing it. And that's our Chelsea buns. They look really incredible. All we got to do now is give it a minute, and then we're going to tear and share and get in. Let's rip one off. Tear and share. You ready for this? Look how soft that is. Look at that. Unbelievable. That bread, that Chelsea bun is amazing. Amazingly soft. Come on. So there we are, Chelsea buns made. The absolute forerunner to the cinnamon bun. Look at that. All we got to do now is get dug in. So how do you eat yours? Do you just tear away? Do you just tear into some of that really soft bread? That is incredible. Or do you slice in? Do you slice through and grab some butter and put some butter on? Oh, it's still warm, look, it's all melting in. And then if you do it in half like that, do you eat the top first or do you eat the bottom? You know, the top's got the glaze on, or do you eat the bottom first? Dilemma. Oh, well, I'm gonna have to do the top first, followed by a bite of the bottom. See if there's a difference. That is ridiculously good. You've got that citrusy flavour through there with our mixed spice. Very, very soft bread. Very soft indeed. Wow, that butter. All-time favourite. It's moist. It's not dried out. It's soft. It's citrusy. It's got that sugar in there. You got that mixed spice. You got that butter. A little bit of glaze over the top. That is Chelsea buns made. If you like what we're doing, don't forget, big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. And if you've made Chelsea buns before, let me know what you think of them. And for all those that are going to make them, let me know that too.